Hello everyone, and you're still watching the Food Ingredients TV, and I'm going to be your host. My name is Brem Hanif, and right now I'm here with Mr. Harry Booth, and I'm going to ask him several questions about his company and about his products. Hello, sir.
Very nice meeting you.
Very nice meeting you too.
Thank you for the invite.
You remind me of James Dean.
Well, there you go.
Okay, so I'm going to jump into it. Can you tell me a little bit of your business here, of your company, and also your product?
Yeah, no, thank you. Thanks again for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Tate Lyle ultimately is a 160-year-old company.
Yeah.
We used to be very strong in the sugar business, but as of 2010, we completely got out of the sugar business.
Okay.
And now we're really mainly in three key categories: in the beverage industry, in the SSD industry, and also in the dairy space. And our products are all about taking sugars out of our portfolio, or enriching fibers into their portfolios, or even like clean labels.
Okay.
So those are the key areas that we're doing.
So mostly it's about sugar, though.
Yeah, at the moment, if you look at the bigger picture, what's happening in the world today,
Okay.
you know, there's a big problem with regards to obesity. You know, you see that here, for example, here in Indonesia, right? 30% of the population is overweight or obese.
True.
So you have also a massive problem with regards to diabetes. Right?
Yeah.
There's close to 20 million diabetics here in Indonesia. And you see those trends are very worrying in the world. And what we're ultimately about is trying to find solutions
I agree with you.
to try and take sugar out and make sure that people are able to lead a healthier lifestyle.
That's actually quite impressive because most of the people in here consume sugar. You know, a lot of people really like sugar. In the food vendor, they always sell, sugary drinks. But sometimes they didn't sell mineral water and that kind of stuff, though. I mean, besides taking sugar out, what else?
Yeah, so our sweeteners portfolio is the largest portfolio of sweeteners in the world. And that portfolio gives us the opportunity to take sugars out, to take calories out.
Okay.
So that's one part of the portfolio.
Okay.
If you look at then the fibers part of our portfolio, that's all about bringing fibers back into solutions, into food products. So in general, people do not consume enough fibers.
True.
And the digestive system is not functioning as well as it could. So what we do is we add fibers into, let's say, products to ultimately help it. And then if you look at our starch portfolio, we're the second largest starch manufacturer in the world, and that's all about clean labels. So when you pick up that label, you know that it's a clean, healthy product that you're ultimately consuming.
So talking about the metabolism, right? I mean, if we're taking excessive sugar every day, a lot of sugar, it slows down our metabolism.
Correct.
And what your company trying to do is to reduce the level of the sugars intakes.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah, so if you look at, for example, like a beverage that you have, if you look at a lot of the beverage, whether it's a juice drink or, you look at even like what we're looking at over here, right? If in certain cases, those energy drinks, for example, might have up to 50 or 60% sugar.
Yeah,
now, with our portfolio, we can then reduce it by 50%, or in certain cases, we can even reduce it by 100%.
True. But since we're here now in Food Ingredients Asia, why is it important to be here? What do you think at Food Ingredients Asia, and what do you hope to achieve by being here?
Yeah, Indonesia is a wonderful market. It's a great population size.
A lot of people here.
A lot of people here, and the issues that you have here, if you look at a grand scheme of things, with regards to obesity or with regards to diabetes, there's a big problem here. Okay. And so what we're trying to achieve here is to bring better solutions to customers or our customers to make sure that we can ultimately give people a healthier lifestyle.
Okay.
And why is it so important for us? It's a very large market, very up and growing middle class, and ultimately we can make a difference, right? Our logo is ultimately to change life generations, and we believe we can ultimately make a difference over here.
But speaking of customers though, since it's actually very crowded here in G Expo, have you met interesting clients?
Yeah, no, I've just had a couple of meetings with some clients, and they were again going through. So there was, for example, a beverage company, and he was looking at how can I ultimately take sugar out. So he was looking at his sugary drinks, and again, how can he take 30% of his products out? So if you go to our booth, which is
Yeah.
located on an A1.
Yeah, A1.
That area, you can we show samples whereby with different products we ultimately taking sugar out of their recipes. So it was a very interesting conversation whereby we can make prototypes for them to ultimately keep the taste the same. That's the crucial thing, because people want that same taste, right? I mean, taste is local. You want to keep that the same, but ultimately make sure that we ultimately take the sugar out, but keep that taste.
True. That's actually brilliant, because people don't care whether it's healthy or not. They only care about the taste of the food, the taste of the beverage, right? So if that didn't taste the same, they don't want to consume it no more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the crucial thing, and that's the reason why you need a very wide portfolio of products whereby you can ultimately take the sugar out. Because sugar is a great product.
Yes, true.
And it has a great mouthfeel. So in certain cases we will combine a stevia, for example, with a fiber to make sure we get that same taste.
It releases dopamine, so that's why sugar is.
Exactly.
People go crazy for sugar.
Exactly.
But I want to ask you something though. Have you ever been to another food and beverage exhibition before?
Yes.
Yes.
So I mean, whether it's in the US or in China or in Thailand, in different parts of the world.
But what about here though, in Food Ingredients Asia G Expo 2018? Is that something different?
I get the feeling that there's much more of an awareness. When I talk to customers and I talk to people, there's much more of an awareness of sugar, the issue that you currently have with sugar, and that people are ultimately looking for more healthier solutions.
Okay.
The education level that I see of the people themselves is definitely going up a notch. And so people are ultimately looking for solutions.
So that's what makes it different then?
It definitely is different. People are becoming more and more sophisticated and ultimately trying to find solutions.
But what is the value of the show for you?
The show for us is ultimately that we can ultimately show our new capabilities. So we've got 4 key product lines that we're showing. One is stevia, it's our new stevia product line, again one of our sweetener portfolio. We've got Claria, which is a clean label starch that we're positioning. We've got a stabilizer for the cheese industry that we're positioning, and then we've got a fiber range to ultimately promote, let's say, the digestive system. So there's very specific 4 new products that we're ultimately launching at this show.
Okay, so it's actually all about accelerating food and beverage, not just in Indonesia, but throughout all the Asia, right? Yeah.
Exactly, but Indonesia is a key market for us. It's a very important for us.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, you have China and all the rest of it, but if you look at the expansions that we've had or seen in Indonesia, it's been very, very impressive. But we want to get closer, ultimately, to the end user. We want to understand and develop products together with them locally. That's the key thing.
But how does Food Ingredients Asia seek to accelerate the Indonesian food and beverage industry development?
Sorry, say that one more time.
Well, how does Food Ingredients Asia seek to accelerate the Indonesian food and beverage industry's development?
Well, I think it's by shows like this, whereby government together with industry, together with people like ourselves, the principals, like the customers, get together and work on solutions together. And this is like a perfect setting for that, right? Whether it's with customers or whether it's with agencies or whether it's with suppliers, ultimately finding that solution all the way together. And that's the key thing. There's no one can actually ultimately do it by themselves. It's that cooperation that's ultimately so important.
Since what you're telling me is, it sounds very sophisticated. I mean, the technique, the technology to separate the sugar, not separate, to reduce the sugar intakes from the food and the drinks. What is the highlight products you have brought to the show?
Yeah, so it's if you look at the key to get back to that particular question, it is sophisticated, and that's why we've been increasing our capability in this part of the world. I mean, we doubled our size of our application labs in Singapore. We doubled the size of our application lab in Shanghai. We tripled our fibers facility in Nantong in China to service this particular industry. Now, the specific products that you were referring to, one is our stevia lines. We also took a 15% stake in SGF, which is a stevia expert. So we took a stake in there. So we're showcasing some of their products, like the Latesse or the Optimizer range. In the fiber side, we're promoting products like, for example, Promotor or Starlight. out of our Nam Tong facility. If you look at the modified food starch facility, it's like our Clario range. And then in the stabilizers, it's specifically some tabletops that we're doing for the. So they're very specific areas where we're trying to find solutions for our customers.
So your company is almost all around Asia then, Singapore and
We
all
love
the...
Asia.
Wow, amazing.
We think
Yeah.
it's a tremendous opportunity for us, and we're going to keep on building our capability in this region.
And since our audience is mostly from around Asia though, do you have anything to say to our audience?
No, I've lived in this part of the world for 25 years,
Yes.
and I think it's an exciting world. I think if you look at the rate of development that are happening in this part of the world, it's a very exciting place, and I am very, very bullish about this part of the world. I think with the growing of the middle class, people are becoming more and more aware of what's ultimately happening. What are you putting into your bodies? I think this part of the world is going to further accelerate, and 60% of the world's population is here by 2030. So it's
pretty crowded here.
It's a very, very, very important part of the world for us.
What about you promote your company and your products to all the audience that watching this right now?
Sorry?
I mean, can you promote your company and also your products to all the audience that watching right now?
I welcome them to come and visit our booth.
Where is our booth? Your booth?
I think it's A1.
A1. In case you forget, I think I do remember. A1, A2.
That's the one.
That's the one.
So please visit us on our booth. I think that's
course.
probably
Yeah,
the best
yeah.
way for us to be able to showcase our portfolio and
True.
our products. We've got a number of things that we can show, whether it's in the beverage sector or whether it's in the cheese sector or whether it's cakes and dressings. Ultimately showing how we've been able to reduce certain cases 50% or 60% sugar reduction, or in the case of cheeses, for example, we've been able to reduce the cost of those by 20 or 30%. So come to our booth. That's where we can showcase our portfolio and our products, and let us work together with you to ultimately find solutions.
So guys, if you have problem with sugar, if you like sugary snacks, sugary sweets, beverage, anything, but you're afraid to get, fat, you can visit the booth at A1, A82, all right? Noted that, A1, A82, I think that's it though. Thank you so much, Mr. Harry, thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Stay tuned, and then after that we're going to do a lot of interview next, all right?